NewGenGamers.com.
Such as in our Zelda video there, he had unlimited keys, he had all the hearts, pretty much all the items, you know, whatever you want. And so Nintendo did not like a device like this existing because, in their opinion, it killed replayability because you could just cheat through their game. I feel it adds some replayability
in games like Contra.
In games that are really difficult, or just to play through them in that different way. You know, it's kind of fun. But the Game Genie was the first example of that. We'd later see the Game Shark, the Pro Action Replay, etc., on all the different consoles. But Codemasters were the first to do that, and they were kind of a rebellious, cocky young group with a name like Codemasters, and you know, they just didn't care about the licensing and just did their own thing. They released a peripheral called the Aladdin for the NES, which was a cartridge that you plugged cartridges into, so you had to have that, and then you got additional games for the Aladdin system. So they had their Game Genie and the Aladdin, released under the name Camerica, but it was Codemasters. So there's Codemasters. They're still around, and they still make some pretty good games, but they've had
you are freaking tearing it up, by the way.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
This is an unrelenting Capcom game, 1942, and Ron just completely tore it up there.
Yeah, I was just running my mouth and trying not to pay attention, and it was working. So, this game, let's talk about this game some then.
Oh, this is one of their fantastic early works at Capcom here. It was a forward vertical shooter, which as most shooter fans of this genre have come to accept, is the better type of shooter, is the vertical shooter instead of the side scroller.
Yeah, I'd say so. I like it.
It feels like you're moving more forward than just side to side. It feels like you have more fluid motion. And vertical.
Oh, shouldn't have went for it.
Vertical shooters are seen as more of like the I don't know, the refined ones.
So this was, of course, called 1942, released by a Japanese company. Now, for anyone who's familiar with Japanese or American history or world history, around this time there was a world war going on. And around this time, Japan and America were battling fiercely. And so it's kind of interesting that they released this game from a Japanese company in America.
Kind of makes you wonder what side you're playing on.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm not sure if we're Japanese killing Americans or Americans killing Japanese. Maybe we're
killing Germans.
Maybe we're Nazis killing Europeans. I don't know. We're not really sure.
It has a very Pacific feel to it, though.
We're not really sure, but we're causing some sort of great genocide in American, or in some sort of culture's history here. So
yeah, we're killing a lot of fire pilots.
But this was different than most of the impending space doom shooters that were popular at the time. This is a little more contemporary, and the sound is very loud, and so
yeah, the arcade sound didn't get ported too well.
Yeah, it's just kind of a noise.
But you know, for what the graphics are pushing here, maybe they just took a lot of room with the with the graphic engine. And this was an early one, so maybe they hadn't perfected the sound chips for the NES like they did with Mega Man. Yeah,
this was an early NES game, and as far as the NES goes, it was released in 1983 in Japan, 1985 in America.
Yep,
and released as the Famicom in Japan, which stood for the Family Computer. And they changed the name and changed the exterior design of the system and the controllers and the cartridges for the American version.
Now, I'm gonna throw in and mention here why they changed the design of the console.
Do it.
The reason they went for more of the...
Oh, okay, we still have another life. Last life.
Do I have... Yeah.
Kill those Nazis.
The reason that they changed the design of the console was so that it didn't look like a traditional game machine because of the recent crash that had just happened in the industry, and Nintendo...
in America.
In America, and Nintendo was trying to enter into the American market, and retailers would not touch video game machines at that time. So what Nintendo had to do was basically do some clever marketing. What they did was they changed the design to more of like a box, like, you know, without the cartridge port sticking out. And they called it the Nintendo Entertainment System. And they included...
with that sleek 80s semi-metallic looking styling.
And they included the, you know, the control pads. They included the zapper, the original zapper, and then they included...
And...
Motherfucker!
Our game just messed up, so I think that was a good look at 1942, and we'll continue on with that story.
Start here. Alright, welcome back. After our little snafu with 1942 there. Here we have Mega Man 2.
Also from Capcom.
Yes, this one isn't quite as evil as 1942 and Ghosts and Goblins and some of the earlier stuff.
No, it does have evil robots that are trying to take over. That's pretty evil.
Yeah,
but it's not... Mega Man just seems happier.
Yes.
And this music is awesome. Now this is being played on the Mega Man Anniversary Collection on the Nintendo GameCube, but it is a straight port of the Nintendo Entertainment System game. So it is the same game.
Yeah, we did try. We found as many of the original cartridges as we could, but some we just had to. We had to get in here, so we had to find another way to do it.
Yeah, so we have some Virtual Console titles for the Wii, and this is on the GameCube collection. And this is an evil stage. You want to say this game's not evil?
Oh no, I love this. I guess I just love this game.
Oh, I love it. It's just, it's tough.
Okay, I scratched that evil remark.
Right. It's tough. It's fun and very challenging. Now, this was a departure from Konami or from Capcom's other games. This was built to be a Nintendo Entertainment System home game, and this was Kaiji Inafune's game, and the game that would put him on the video game industry map. He was a young guy that was an artist and worked at Capcom and was assigned a task of creating a game and some characters. And so he came up with the character Rockman, who was a robot who lived in a robot world.
Not to be confused with just like a stone man, but rock and roll is what the theme was.
Yes, it was set in to be a rock and roll theme. So all the music is
very good.
Very good for the system's capabilities.
あのロックマンが帰ってきた。まだまだ懲りないドクター・ワイリーの野望。グレードアップした8ステージの強敵ロボット、面白さ2倍。究極の痛快アクションゲーム、ロックマン2、ドクター・ワイリーの謎。
DJ Gamers.com